Okay. We are live just about everywhere except for Facebook. Yeah, Facebook's going real slow for some reason, but we are live on Facebook now too. So, yeah, we were gonna discuss past lives and past life experiences and whatnot. So,
all right.
And so I don't know if Florence is going to be joining us or if we've got anybody else that's going to be joining us, but let you guys take the floor. Like, any of you have any stories that you want to share?
Honestly, this just piqued my interest. Everybody's like, you're an old soul, like you lived so many lives. And at this point, I'm like, am I an old soul or do I have trauma? That's our where you're like, we're gonna be discussing past lives, and I was like, I gotta jump on for this.
Well, have you ever done any kind of past life regression work or anything like that?
I have zero idea what that means.
So there are certain, guess for lack of a better term, like psychics or whatnot that specialize in past life regression work. So going for a session with them, they'll kind of help you uncover memories from previous lives.
Do you have any recommendations?
I can't say that I do.
Oh shit. I mean, I can tell you I feel like I've made the same mistakes in depth that I have probably perhaps made them in a different life as well. But that's as far as it goes for me.
So what about you, Alan? You got any stories that you want to share?
Nothing in particular, no. Kind of out of my field there.
So, well, we're getting off to an excellent start here.
Yeah, no shit, huh? We're like, yeah, we have this figured out.
Well, thanks for joining the podcast. That was a quick one.
Do you think it's kind of like a deja vu thing? Do you think that's a past life kind of thing? Hey, I've experienced this before, or do you guys think it's deja vu?
That I'm not entirely sure. So,
I don't know.
No, typically if I experience any kind of a deja vu type experience, I don't think that it's associated with any past life type experiences. With my past life experiences, that the ones that I've been able to uncover and remember, they've all been kind of wildly different experiences from this particular life, and just. Well, for one, I think it's always funny how a lot of times when people are talking about their past lives, everybody's always like, I was somebody important, and I was an assistant to Cleopatra, or something crazy like that. But the work that I've done, this is actually probably one of my best lives. So for one, I've lived longer this life than a lot of the previous lives that I've had.
So you don't have how did you figure that out? You don't have a recommendation of people to go to figure that out, or?
So, yeah, I don't have a recommendation of people that you can go to figure it out. For me, it was, well, it's something common that I'm finding where it's a lot of people kind of going down the same path that I've gone through, where it's just you're going about your life, doing your thing. And then one day you just have this experience that just slaps you in the face and wakes you up. And then all of a sudden, all of these things are open. So And the best way that I can describe what happened to me was it was a download. And all of a sudden, all of these memories, at the time, it was the memories from all of my past lives were opened all at the same time. I couldn't even talk for like 2 weeks. So it took me a little while to recover from that. My brain had to process it, had to go through and decide because it just can't handle all that information all going at the same time. So had to kind of come back to reality, determine what's real, what isn't, what's useful, what isn't, and what to archive and put away for later use.
Makes sense.
So that's kind of my weird little story as to where those came. Well, the funny thing is, even before that, there was the life that I had before this one. I was just born weird. So when you talk to people about, well, what's the earliest memory that you can recall? A lot of people, it doesn't even go that deep into early childhood. Shaylee, what's the earliest memory that you can recall?
So my parents were still married. They got divorced when I was 3, but 3-ish. I don't know. I was there, but I wasn't. My earliest memory is sitting on the steps of the house that my parents bought. And they were pissed because they wanted to teach me how to tie my shoes. And it was like the bunny loop or like the one around the fucking tree. I don't know how it goes anymore. But they fought and they were at each other's throats about fighting about it. So I learned both, mostly to please my dad. My mom knew it was best for me, and so she taught me the easiest way. But at 3 years old, I decided I was going to try to figure out my dad's way of tying shoes so he didn't feel left out. He bounced about 2 months later, but it's fine. Whatever. I'm just trying to please everybody. But that's my earliest memory. It's either my nightmares about robots or my parents fighting how to tie my shoes.
So what about you, Alan? What do you think's the earliest memory that you have?
The earliest memory I have is being sat on a couch and then watching through this hallway this dog, and the dog's eating, and like asking family and that about everything. I'd have to be right around 2 years old when that took place. So yeah, and I remember everything in really vivid detail as far as I can picture it right in my head, the print of the couch, the way it was made, the colors, just the way the fur flowed on the dog and everything. So kind of an odd thing, but that's the earliest thing I recall.
Is just the dog eating. Like it wasn't traumatic. It was just like this yearly memory.
Just dog doing dog stuff.
God, lucky. Wish.
Yeah, sitting there chilling. Just looking around, basically the things you'd be doing at 2 years old as you're sat on a couch, you know.
Yeah.
Look around a little bit, look over. There's a dog down the hallway.
That's wholesome as fuck.
Drinking some water.
Yeah, that's wholesome as fuck. Yeah.
Damn. That's about it. Nothing super exciting.
No, but it's wholesome, and I live for wholesome content. Just saying.
Sometimes I can be just a sweet little sunbeam, I guess.
Little ray of sunshine.
I'm just a little ray of sunshine.
I support it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, and like the reason, like I like to tune in anyway, but with the boyfriend going to school, it's a bit weird, so I have to like migrate to the kitchen. But I was like, I would, different life, like my past life. Like I've only been told, oh, you're an old soul. Oh, you know better. Oh, you're so great. Like I've had so much trauma. I got raped when I was 8 for years. I got beat in my early 20s for years.
Jeez.
Like, I'm not an old soul. I just know how to deal with trauma. I don't even know how to deal with trauma. I just know how to endure it. So everybody's like, you're an old soul. And so that's why I was like, we're talking about past lives? Like, sign me up. What was I? But, you know, like, and I don't expect to be anything special. Maybe just like, I don't know, like a warrior lioness or some shit. Nothing special. Like, I'd be an animal at this point. I don't care.
So it's like, well, I was hoping that we'd get like one of our viewers or somebody involved in the actual Zoom room here that might be able to have some recommendations as far as people that do past life work.
Agreed.
So,
I'd be willing to pay to find out. So just putting that on the table.
yeah.
I always figured I'd just talk to you, Jeff.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was. Relatable.
So there is something that I could try, but it is something that I haven't tried for ages. And that's because, well, I've had some accidents with it. So,
well,
yeah,
practice makes perfect.
Yeah, but not when you're messing around inside of people's heads.
That's valid. That's true.
So it is something that I tried my hand at one point, was hypnotherapy, and actually was trying my hand at trying to learn how to become a party hypnotist. So, and I was able to do it, but the problem is that being able to be like a good party hypnotist, it's all about being able to get people under and into that state of hypnosis in a very quick, efficient manner. Because if it takes too long, then you lose the audience's attention. Just the whole like bringing them under process or whatnot can be very tedious and boring. So if you're taking any more than like 5-10 minutes to do it, then you've lost the audience's attention. And it takes me longer than 5-10 minutes to get them under. So
my only experience with that is it didn't happen to me, but my mom, bless her heart, has had like some of the same issues that I had. And her therapist like early on was like, I literally can't help you. You're hoarding all these emotions. I have to hypnotize you. And it worked. It worked. I'm not saying it didn't take like 10 minutes, but
Have you ever tried being a drunk party hypnotist?
a drunk party hypnotist?
no, I've just been I'm literally just the drunk though. So
Well, now you just have to learn how to hypnotize people. You're halfway there.
I'm happy. Yeah. I'm covering up something. I'm fighting something. I'm holding on to something. I just don't know what it is. And I think maybe this past life thing has something to do with it. I don't know.
I say, well, if anybody's gonna go down that path, I'd say, yeah, definitely find a licensed hypnotherapist. So, like I said, it's something that I have some experience in, but I'm definitely not licensed, and we've definitely made some boo-boos in my experiments there.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So, yeah, and I guess just my experiences there. The party hypnotist thing, it's, yeah, you just get them under, and then it just dumb things like making them forget their first name, or making
where's your
them,
belly button? Or,
yeah,
yeah.
dumb things like that, and I can say that honestly, it does actually work. But so people that are skeptical saying, well, like it's obviously some sort of a trick. Like when they do this, it's that the people are obviously in on it. Like, no, it does actually work, but it only works on about 1 out of 4 people.
Yeah, I experienced that at a young age, the hypnotism thing. Not me personally, but I saw it. And I was convinced. I mean, people don't act like that because you tell them to. Like,
Yeah.
So it has to work to a degree, most definitely.
Well, I guess it really all depends on because seeing various different hypnotist shows and talking with people that have participated, it's like there are people that'll say definitely like I wasn't fully aware of what was going on, or people be like I just thought I was asleep the whole time. Other people will be like I knew what was going on, but I was powerless to fight the suggestions. And then other people that are like, oh yeah, it's like I wasn't under it all, but I just went along with it just for the fun of it. So I find with that it is, because it's there is a certain level of trust that has to be built in order for it to work.
Well, and I, being the person I am, I was going to bring up like consent. Like if you have somebody hypnotized, like do they consent to certain things? But I'm thinking too much into it because that's who I am.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and it is very much that it's if the person, if a person doesn't want to be hypnotized, they're not going to be hypnotized. That's the end of the story. Because it's they have to, like, of their own cognition, like,
right. But I mean, like, not that we're talking about a comedy show, but like in a comedy show, like, hey, can I get some volunteers? They're not going to consent to not finding their belly button on the floor. Like I wouldn't, but you know what I mean? I'm just worried about consent right now. It's just my whole thing right now. So that's that.
So yeah, it's if somebody doesn't want to let you in, it's not going to happen. That's like hypnotherapy. It's in order for that to work, it's whoever's being subjected to it has to be in a state to where they're willing to trust the therapist that they're working with, because it's you have to.
And not to cut you off, I'm sorry, but that was kind of my next question. Like, it's different in therapy, but when people do like comedy shows, I don't know. It's a whole other issue.
So and I think with that, it's the understanding of what you're, the whole purpose of why they're being placed under hypnosis has a lot to do with if they're going to let you in or not.
Entertainment as opposed to.
Yeah. Because I think there's some people out there that knowing that it's going to be entertainment, that they're just going to be made to do some ridiculous things or whatnot, but they're not going to have to like talk about childhood trauma or anything like that. They're going to be a lot more susceptible. They're going to be a lot more open to, and a lot more willing to let the hypnotist in.
Right.
Whereas other people, like if they're seeing a hypnotherapist, and well, I mean, for one, it's you're paying a shitload of money for this, so it's like why fork out the money if you're just going to fight the therapist the whole time and not let them in?
Correct. Yeah.
So, but it is real. But if somebody doesn't want to be hypnotized, they're not going to be hypnotized. There is no like kind of, the vampiric, like, look into my eyes, you're hypnotized now. It's like, no, it's
like the frog from Futurama.
Yeah. there is no Hypnotoad type. Well, with that, I'd say, there are definitely psychic vampires and people out there that are able to use the power of suggestion and things like that. And, master manipulators that can get into your head in various different ways. But as far as somebody being able, you can't hypnotize somebody without their full consent.
What are your thoughts, Alan? Is he frozen? Alan.
Yeah, Alan's frozen.
Oh shit!
I ain't letting no weird hippie gypsy in my head. No. Yeah.
Yeah, here we are.
So, have tried to do, like I said, with my own experiments. Well, one of the things there is just, like, I'm from a weird family. Like, my mom had the weirdness. Her mom had it before her. And my dad has his own different weirdnesses that were kind of passed down in different ways. But my dad wound up being the guinea pig more times than not. So it's like a big thing there is that my dad, well, I'm pretty sure he has Asperger's. So there's a lot that goes on in his head that he's not sure exactly how to be able to communicate.
My little brother has that, so I can vibe with that.
It's like, and my mom being my mom, she was always like, you let us in. What is going on? Because he's also a sleep talker. So there was always like things going on. Like he was having these like complex conversations in his sleep and figuring out like these complex mathematical formulas. And so my mom was always thought that somehow we could get him under and like crack the code. We could figure out what exactly was going on there. And who knows, maybe there was like some great, like he was going to like solve like faster than light travel or something like that. But I was never able to do that. The best I was able to do was, just say to this day, he can vividly recall like what happened, exactly what happened on Christmas when he was 8. So it's like we tried that as a test just to like make sure that he was under. And say, did a car just drive through somebody's?
Wasn't me. It was Alan. That was definitely Alan. Who's frozen? But yes.
Yep.
Our good friend Alan.
Oh yeah.
So
they're rude sometimes.
They're always rude. Not sometimes. Car guys are always fucking rude. No hate. Love your car. Take care of it. Just.
It's like nobody gives a shit about your car being loud.
No,
seriously.
Literally, like, you know what fucking kills me? This is totally off topic, but when there's like a fucking like divide and there's a bridge, it was like, wow, 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 wow. I'm like, tell me you have a small penis without telling me you have a small penis. I don't want to fucking hear how loud your car is. I don't fucking care. Nobody cares but you. That's it. That's the end of that. But go ahead.
It's like, oh my God, your car is so loud. I'm so wet. Said nobody ever.
Yeah, no shit. I need to change. Hold on. I gotta change. I'm trying to merge. Stupid.
Well, that pretty much took care of my next question. So, sweet.
What was the next question?
I was just making a joke.
And I was playing off of it. So anyway,
yeah, there's an interesting thing that I found with my experiments, and this is it's like I'd say there are like what I call actual demons, and I'm not sure what to call these, but there are things inside of a person's head that are really a defense mechanism. And when you're doing when you're going like really deep, trying to like unlock past life stuff, or even like traumatic memories that somebody's repressed, a lot of times these things can manifest. And it's the brain's defense mechanism, but the brain will generate demon-like entities to try to stop you from wandering too deep into your brain.
Question.
Go for it.
So I'm like hardcore into ghosts. I'm hardcore. Mind you, I don't have a religion. I just think energy cannot be created or destroyed. But you think that this negative energy that happens is going to create negative energy, correct?
So there's a big difference between like what I would call like ghosts or like demonic entities, things like that. That's completely separate. That's an external force.
Okay.
But it's like there are things that the brain will create, that the brain will do. It'll create like demon-like entities and monsters and things like that.
Shadows and whatnot.
Yeah, it will. So and it is entirely a defense mechanism. So, and this is one of the the difficult things about like being able to like really get in there and be able to like unlock traumatic memories or past life memories or things like that will be with some people it will be like I had a friend that we were doing some experiments with hypnosis and going into some very traumatic childhood memories, and anytime that we were about to go into something that he had repressed, it's like his brain would generate this giant centipede-like monster that would stand in the way and not let him unlock those particular memories.
Makes sense. It makes sense. I get it.
So other people, yeah, like with my dad, it's just it's like if we were going down a path that he had repressed or something that he didn't want unlocked, then his brain would just shift gears entirely, and it would just like completely shift scenarios, like put him somewhere else entirely.
Yep.
And now he's like
Yep.
not even in an environment that we had created that would allow him to be able to explore. And well, there's kind of this concept. I don't know. You've ever seen the show Sherlock, the Benedict Cumberbatch one? Well, there's a process that he's able to use to be able to remember very specific details, things like that. And he's talking about how he has this brain castle that he's created, and he just psychologically puts himself there, and he knows like, okay, it's like this one bit of information that I know that I needed to remember. Like I psychologically put myself in the castle. I went to like this specific room. I put it like in this specific place. So if I'm like sitting here, like meditating, like and needing to recall this, I know I go here, I take a look in this drawer, and that's where that information or that memory is going to be.
Have you know who NF is?
What was that?
You know who NF is, the rapper NF?
Yeah.
You know the song Mansions?
I don't know that I'm familiar with that one.
Okay, this is pretty much the same situation. Like you have to look it up, but because that's how I kind of like. Anyway, just it'll make sense.
Oh, yeah. Well, and I think this is a theme that we see repeated. Like, it's a common theme in people's dreams, where it's well, I'm exploring this old house, and then like I come across this thing or blah blah blah. There's like this big, grand reveal in exploring this old house. And so it's the house is kind of a representation of like the psyche, or it's like the dream world. It's all about like symbols and archetypes and everything, because the dream world is entirely governed by the right brain. And this is why you can't really read a book in your dreams, or why electronics don't really work the way that they're supposed to, or you see like a billboard or something like that, you might be able to like get like a short little message on it. But if there's like a lot of text or whatnot, it will always be jumbled, because at least I'm not sure if there's anything like scientific to back that up, but at this point, I'm pretty sure that our dreams are entirely a right brain governed function. And, so when you put somebody in that hypnotic state, being able to like understand like the dream realm and the mechanics of how things operate there, being able to like create a like environment that gives that person a place that they can like navigate and be able to break things down as far as like archetypes and symbols. And so a lot of times, you create like a castle or a house or whatnot that they can navigate, and everything that's like on the ground floor is going to be like their common everyday, the everyday like memories or whatnot that you need to access. And then as you go like up into the attic, or if you go like deep down into the basement, like the deeper that you go into the house, or you find that the house keeps going deeper down underground, the more things that you're able to unlock. But with that, the brain does try to fight back, and it will create obstacles and things like that in order to throw you off track and keep a lot of those memories repressed. And especially if you try to do like any kind of like past life type things, or try to because a lot of ancestral memories are going to be locked in your DNA, and trying to unlock any of that, you're going to find that the brain has a lot of defense mechanisms that it will trigger to try to keep those things locked up.
I have a question.
Go for it.
Can you tell me why all of my dreams are fighting for my life, They're not pleasant. My car breaks down. The wheels on my car get stolen. None of my dreams are like, hey, this is gonna work. And I was like on anti-dream medication for a long time, but I was just like, this is so groggy as shit. But every night, okay, every other, my shit's not pleasant.
So did they ever put you on Prozocin?
Yeah.
Yeah. Been there, done that. That's what turned my sleep paralysis episodes into lucid dreaming episodes and eventually astral projection episodes.
Yeah, it was totally fucked, right? I mean, it worked. It worked. It really did work for me, but I didn't feel like I was sleeping.
So,
and
well, the funny thing about how like Prozocin specifically works, it doesn't work for everybody. A lot of people, it can actually make the situation worse. Because and it's most commonly prescribed for like soldiers that have actually been like through combat, and yeah, so it's it's specifically a PTSD medication.
Guess what? CPTSD.
Yep.
But yeah,
so
it worked, but I wasn't. My nightmares were fucking terrifying, and I hated them, and I didn't want to deal with them. But the grogginess in the morning was not worth it. Like, it really wasn't.
So, well, we're kind of going into more like dreams and things like that, but I mean,
true,
it's all kind of connected. But you guys don't mind me going like super nerdy here for a second?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
Well, I was going to say real quick, I do have a lot of those weird, like, place dreams. I'll be in a familiar place, but everything gets way abstract at a certain point. So you'll wind up at somebody's house hanging out, but then, like, you wind up through, like,
that's different, right?
Part of the dream running through these weird caverns that just keep going and going type of thing. So you were speaking about weird abstract place dreams. I get a lot of those. I don't know if that's related.
So, oh yeah, and it's like I said, the being able to like dissect dreams and what your dreams are trying to tell you. It's a matter of being able to understand. It's like once you understand that the dream realm is pretty much entirely right brain governed, and your brain is going to try to like process information from a right brain standpoint, just entirely like symbols, archetypes, things of that nature. Then it becomes okay, well, like these particular symbols or like this particular path that this dream went down, like what is that trying to tell me specifically? And
right,
and a lot of times there is going to be like things like mechanical things not working or whatnot. That's supposed to be all tied back to feelings of like a lack of control or like just life in general being chaos and things not working out the way that you want them to. And a lot of these, like, kind of turning down a path and going like the deep, dark caverns or whatnot. A lot of that is the.
I love y'all. I'll be right back.
Okay. So a lot of that is just, your brain's way of kind of saying like, okay, well, we're going to take a look at like some stuff going on in the subconscious that needs to be processed that we can't really focus on while you're awake. So this is my way of being able to like bring it up and say, okay, let's take a look at this, try to analyze this somehow, some way, or at least acknowledge it somehow, some way. So, and
right.
So with that, just the they kind of like the a lot of the study of dreams, what we know of it and whatnot, we really kind of goes back to either Carl Jung or Sigmund Freud, which I think Sigmund Freud gets a bad rap these days. Maybe like psychoanalysis or whatnot is an outdated mode of psychology, but a lot of what he did for people in the Victorian era was he did a lot of good work back then. It was very much these people were very repressed. Say the attitudes were still very Puritan when it came to things like, well, sexual expression, emotional expression, things like that. It was still, it's the Victorian era. It was, there's proper ways of doing things and, and improper ways of doing things. So, so you have had a lot of these people that when they were talking to Sigmund Freud, it's like they, because of just the environment and the way that they were raised or whatnot, they'd be like, well, like I had this dream and it was like graphic and sexual in nature. So, obviously I must be crazy, like lock me up, put me in an asylum. And he was the first one to really come out and say, guys, let's have a serious talk about this. Like these things that you guys think that you're all crazy for, it's like, this is normal things that everybody experiences, but we're all told that it's not polite to talk about this. And someone out there somewhere put this idea out there that, well, if you have these kind of dreams or like these, violent or sexual dreams or things like that, then this means that there's something wrong with you. So we just don't talk about it, because if you talk about it, then, they're going to lock you up somewhere.
You're wrong about it.
So,
yeah.
So he was really the first that kind of like stepped out and said, hey, especially like when it came to like sexual shame and things like that, and a lot of how that would manifest in dreams. Like he was the first to really kind of step out and say, hey, this is normal. Like, don't beat yourself up about it.
Human nature.
So like, and then Carl Jung. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I have a totally like off question for you. Off topic.
Go for it.
Okay. So I remember the other day that I text you and I'm like, I don't know who you're talking to, but I know it's not me. Remember that whole thing? Because I have this rude ass coworker who decides to walk all over me all the time, right?
Okay.
And I thought I touched the story. But anyway, so she's just like, I've worked there for about 6 weeks. And she's just ignorant and she's rude. And by rude, I mean she doesn't say please, she doesn't say thank you, she doesn't say excuse me, she doesn't say any of that shit. And that's like offensive to me anyway, regardless. Maybe I'm taking this too personal. But everybody in the fucking facility won't say shit to her. So the other day I was like, I don't know who you're talking to, but I know it's not me. Because I know you're not talking to me like that. I'm done.
No.
So I guess I've worked. I used to be super fucking mean in my younger years, and I've worked really hard to not be fucking mean anymore. And I don't know if like standing up for myself, which obviously isn't mean, but like I don't know how to differentiate the self from standing up for myself and being me. Totally off topic. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm just saying, like,
oh yeah,
like I'm not trying to be an asshole, and like I do I do have a mean streak. I'm known for that, but I like try to like cut that off years ago, and now I feel like I've allowed her to be like getting that mean streak back in me. Totally off topic. I'm sorry. I just felt the need to.
No, and I feel you on that one. But I think in the end, there are a lot of people that they become like that just because people won't stand up and put them in their place. Something that I've encountered many a times, especially with recent years, people becoming a lot more bold about some very stupid opinions. And it's like the reason for this is because they grow up and put themselves in situations where
she's older. It's not like she's my age, but
yeah, it's because they grow up in like insular environments where they're not surrounded by anybody who's going to check them or challenge them. Or in a lot of these bad behaviors, like situation like that, there might be like some trauma from the past where these are things that she learned as a survival mechanism. Was very much a, like you assert yourself, you go out, you take what's yours, and you don't let anybody stand in the way. And as she got older, like it probably got further and further cemented, but also because most of us ultimately as humans, we are pack animals. Most of us we don't want to rock the boat too much. Correct. Because we understand like being able to survive and requires all of us being able to make concessions and get along and be able to work together. But yeah, it's and I think what you did there, it's like that probably made an impact because, like I said, people behave like this because people won't stand up and check them.
Well, and it wasn't like that I wanted to. I mean, obviously I wanted to, but it wasn't me talking. Again, I'm not making any excuse for anything. But my PTSD was like, get fucked.
Oh yeah, and that's
I can control to an extent. I mean, it's a loaded fucking situation, but don't push me and push me and push me, because I'm damaged goods. Which isn't a bad situation, but like, don't.
So, and this is, something that a lot of us struggle with, especially like if, you probably heard of the fight or flight as far as like trauma responses go. But
I usually flight. So for me to say, I don't know who the fuck you're talking to, is a whole new characteristic for me. So I'm like.
So there's actually four different kinds of trauma responses. So fight and flight are just two of the four.
Mm-hmm.
So the other two trauma responses are freeze and then fawn. So
freeze and fall?
Freeze and fawn, FAWN.
Okay.
Which is especially if somebody has like codependency issues or things like that. Fawning is going to be their most common trauma response because they grew up in situations where they had to constantly tiptoe around other people's feelings and do what they had to do to keep the peace to avoid a potentially explosive situation. So as they become adults and like get into relationships or in their workplaces or whatnot, they'll still fawn to other people and just do what they feel they need to do in order to keep the peace and try to avoid an explosive situation.
I don't want an explosive situation. However, I'm done being the abused bitch.
Oh yeah. So, and it was what's the actress's name? Helen Mirren. She's had like a long prolific career, and with that, the stereotypical like trying to make it as a woman, like in film, in Hollywood, especially like in the good old days and whatnot. There's just as an actress, like there was a lot of just you had to eat shit to get ahead, and so somebody did an interview with her like all of these years later, now that she's like in her 70s or whatnot, and they're like, okay, well, if there was one single piece of advice that if you could go back in time, and speak to young Helen and tell her like one piece of advice that you think would have done you a world of good with everything that you were up against, what would that one piece of advice be? She said, I would tell young me that she needs to tell people to fuck off a hell of a lot more often.
And it's easier said than done. Like I'm trying, but fuck, man.
Oh yeah, but it's something that I've heard you say before, and it's something that everybody needs to be able to learn when it's appropriate to. It's like we all have our moments where somebody needs to be told, "Get fucked, stay fucked." So, and with that, it's okay. Well, was this appropriate? Am I just being mean?
Correct. Yeah. Like just.
Well, I'll tell you what. Like, a mean person isn't going to worry about whether or not what they just did was mean.
That's true. At the same flip of the coin, if I can. like we have abusers out there that just got fucking released from prison. So that's cool. Like now they're out and about and they know what make, model, and car we fucking drive.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, it's not fucking stellar. I got a text of someone, the victim's advocate. I got a text about, I think I told you, Jeff. I got a text about 2 weeks ago. I'm fucked. My felony abuser is out of jail.
No, Jesus.
The one who tried to kill me. Mind you, I'm a tough bitch. Fucking get fucked, stay fucked. But like it's you have to put on this bad bitch front in order to deal with not being a bad bitch. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, and it's
make it.
And I think it's something that we all have to learn. And like, and this is something that I'll give props to Alan for. Is like, as long as I've known Alan has been really good about being able to guard his energy. And if somebody pushes Alan too far, he's never been one to mince words, and he's always, yeah. Alan's, as long as I've known Alan has not been afraid to tell somebody to get fucked when they need to be told to get fucked.
Alan, can you and I
pretty much
talk like this in private, just so I need to figure out a backbone. I need one. I don't know where to grow one or where to find one, or I need guidance. I don't know. I need a fucking backbone. And I pretend like I have one, but I really fucking don't. So are you cool with that, or?
Okay, we have Luis.
Hello, Luis.
Wanting to join us here. So this is a new person, but let's see what they're all about.
I don't see any of the text. So, oh.
Okay.
Oh, I see that. Okay. What's up, boo-boo?
All right. How's it going there, Luis?
Their mic's muted.
Listen.
Hi! Oh my God, you're so cute. Hi, Luis. You have to unmute your mute and unmute your mic. That was dumb.
Hoy estoy poniéndome las pilas por la ciudadanía y que me humillan vos esas mierdas que trabajan en oficina. A veces no hay quien hable español y lo abochornan a uno. Aunque uno les hable bien vos porque lo discriminan. Mira, ¿qué quiere decir yo voy a viajar para El Salvador?
Honey, all I know is aquí. That's all I just know aquí. I'm sorry.
Sí, destruye El Salvador.
Okay.
I just travel El Salvador.
Nice.
I just travel El Salvador.
Darling, I don't know what you're saying.
El Salvador. Vale. Ya lo dije.
Okay.
Travel El Salvador.
Anybody?
I just travel El Salvador.
El Salvador.
Well, she just muted her mic. I don't. Subtitles will be fucking extravagant, but what the hell going on?
I have no idea.
So,
I love you too, Luis. I wish the best for you as well. You do you, honey. You get money, fuck bitches. I don't know what you're saying to me, dude. Go ahead.
So it's like, I'm just a little bit curious as to how Luis
found us.
Found us.
Same.
¿Cómo se dice en inglés?
Oh, here she is. Hey, boo boo.
Oh, no, she went mute again.
She's gonna tell me to get fucked and stay fucked, and I know that absolutely. Luis, honey, can you unmute yourself? There's a cute little thing right around here.
I think they're locked up now.
Here. Unmute yourself. Oh.
Yeah, I think they're locked up now, but
Oh wait.
There we go.
Baby girl, unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Scream at me in Spanish, but unmute it when you're gonna do it. I wish the best for her. I hope she's okay. She's oh, honey. There you
El
go.
Salvador.
Yes, there you go. What?
Sounds like she keeps saying El
Why is she
Salvador.
laughing? She just muted herself again. Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus Christos.
Said- Just say I really need to learn Spanish.
Mi con
Yeah.
car.
Okay.
Mi con car. Yo voy a comprar.
Caro. You made yourself again. I'm helping you the best that I can, but you're killing me, dude. Witches and wizards, y'all.
So
She's cute. I feel like her intent is decent, but
just say, we know anybody that speaks Spanish that we could like see if they'll jump in and help out.
I know sit and stay, and that's it.
Yeah.
Agua. H2O?
Yeah.
I don't fucking know. I don't know. She's angry. Either she's angry or she's passionate. I'm not sure what's going on. Lewis? Hi. Hello. Do you speak English? Oh, you muted. We're being trolled. Tell me we're not being trolled without telling me we're not being trolled.
Okay.
See, she knows. She knows.
I want to car.
Buy a bullet.
She said she wants to
Estoy
something.
poniendo las pilas por la ciudadanía. Y que
Aquí? Okay.
Okay.
This is honestly.
Okay. Like I apologize, guys, but I think we're gonna have to go ahead and
Salvador.
I love y'all. I love you, Luis. I love you, Alan. I love you, Jeffrey. I'll see y'all next week, eh?
Alrighty.
All right. I'm gonna say here.
I don't blame you. I'm out skis too. I don't know Spanish.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm like,
she's out, but
oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I booted her. Like, it's
don't. What the fuck? I don't.
Yeah, I'm like,
Well,
it's
none
irrelevant.
of us here speak Spanish. I'm like, I admit, like, the ever connected world that we live in, it's very much a disadvantage only being able to speak one language fluently. But like,
well, we took a chance.
I'm like, okay, well, and the link's out there, so like anybody that like catches our stream anywhere can just jump
but
in.
it's Utah bullshit. That was totally a troll. You guys
Yeah.
can't tell me that wasn't a troll.
I don't know.
I
There's
don't
no way
know.
that
I don't know. I don't know what they thought
There's
they were
no
going to
way.
accomplish, but we're just like,
The link was posted in a closed group, correct?
no, the link is out there. Anybody that is watching the stream can take the Zoom link and join in on our conversation.
Again, a troll. I mean, I don't. I
and with
vibe with that, but I don't think we should.
And
do that.
and with that, I mean, yeah, there is a risk of getting trolls. And I don't know.
It was funny.
I'm not sure what Facebook's algorithms have done lately, but
True.
we used to get all kinds of crazy people from all over that would watch the stream, and we would get like all kinds of crazy trolls or whatnot. And like,
I'm sorry I missed that. I just chime in when there's the three of us.
Well,
the past couple weeks. Fuck.
I'd like to think
I'm
that
just
I did a
kidding.
pretty good job of being able to like keep things in order.
No, things need to be on topic and not.
But yeah, right now I'm like
Consuela.
on Facebook we have 2 viewers right now, where we used to have like at least like 14, 15, but it would be all kinds of weirdos from who knows where. Now it's
Whoville.
So, yeah, anymore we have more people that actually jump into the Zoom room and participate on the conversation than people that like actually watch the stream.
I don't know. Not that I was like originally a part of this like Zoom situation, but I look forward to this. I'm like, hey, my mental health needs this shit. So
Oh yeah, and it's like even if like nobody watches the stream, it's you know having the once a week Zoom room where it's a
Shaylee, Alan, Jeff, we got this, you know.
So yeah, and then Florence jumps in every now and again, and like it's always great having her. She's light years beyond any of the rest of us, especially when it comes to like astrology stuff. But so
also I'm not forgetting about past lives. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, so with
Jeff,
that, we never know what direction the conversation is going to go in. So.
Jeff, I'm going to send you a text, but
okay.
Alan, we're friends on Facebook, right?
Yep.
Okay. Sorry, I post stupid shit. I like to stir the pot. I'm the bitch that's like.
It's all right. If it gets too bad, I can just ignore you.
That's true. You can unfriend me too. I'm not going to be fucking upset about it. But, okay.
No, I'm just messing with you.
I just like to piss people off. And it doesn't matter if they're right or if they're wrong. I just like to piss them off. That's it for me. Anyway, y'all, thank you for having me. I appreciate you. Jeff, I'll message you. Alan, thanks for showing up.
We heart your face, Shaylee.
All right. Bye, boo-boos.
All right. Bye.
Enjoy.
All right.
Like it's just me.
You say yeah, and it's like, do you have like any brilliant words of wisdom that you'd like to add to the conversation at this point?
If for some reason you've enjoyed this conversation, hit the like and subscribe button.
You never know what's going to happen.
No, yeah, you never know what's going to happen. So, no, nothing much. Pretty much here. So should be having some dates coming up on some of those camps I was talking about.
Oh hell yeah!
Get that rolling.
Yeah, keep me posted as to when those are.
Well, I'm gonna try and put everything out in the next couple. Well, at least start in the next couple days, but I'm gonna plan them for about a month out, so people have time.
All right, awesome. Because I'll be honest, like, yeah, especially my week. If it's on a weekend, my weekends fill up fast. So if anybody wants me on a weekend for anything, I need as much advance notice as possible.
Oh yeah. So well, cool.
All right. Well, shall we call it? Reconvene next week.
Yep. Sounds good to me.
All right. Cool. So we'll see how it goes next week. Maybe we'll pick up the past life conversation again, or we'll talk dreams, or whatever. We'll figure it out. So
we'll figure something.
All righty. All right. Take care, bro. We'll talk next week.
Later, man.